Hi everyone and welcome to Germany for Student channel. Today is the 7th lesson of A2 level of German language course and we are going to talk about the modal verb müssen in this lesson. So let's start. We know that every German verb is conjugated according to the subject of sentence. Similarly, müssen modal verb will also be conjugated according to the subject of the sentence. Therefore, first we look at different conjugations of modal verb müssen. If the subject of sentence is ich, which means I, then the modal verb müssen will be conjugated to muss. If the subject of sentence is du, which means you in an informal way, then the modal verb müssen will be conjugated to musst. If we use sie as the subject of the sentence, which means you in a formal way, then the conjugation of müssen will remain same. If the subject of sentence is sie, as, which means he, she, or it, then modal verb müssen will be conjugated to muss. So you can see that modal verb müssen has same conjugation for the subject ich and sie, as. If the subject of sentence is wir, which means we, then müssen will remain müssen. If the subject of sentence is ihr, which means you people, collective plural in an informal way, second person, then müssen becomes müsst. Or sie, which means you people, again in a formal way, second person, plural, then müssen remains müssen. And also for sie, which means they, müssen remains müssen. So these are different conjugations of modal verb müssen. Now we look at the sentence structure. So if we have to use modal verb müssen in our sentence, how will our sentence look like? So we will put subject at the first position in the sentence. It's not mandatory, but this is how we have learned it, and we will follow the same pattern here. So we will place subject at the first position. Modal verb will come at the second position, but the modal verb will be conjugated according to the subject of the sentence, and we will use the same conjugations that we have seen in the previous slide depending on the subject of the sentence. At third position, we may have the object, or we may have some preposition, or it can be the case that we do not have any object or any preposition in the sentence and we directly use the main verb at the last position of the sentence. And whenever we use modal verb in our sentence, main verb will be used at the last position in the sentence, and main verb will always be in the infinitive form. So we will not conjugate the main verb when we are using modal verb at the second position in our sentence. Now let's have a look at the meaning of modal verb müssen. Modal verb müssen can be used when we want to describe something that is necessary or that is obligatory for us, and it can also be used to order someone. Let's have a look at the examples first so that we can understand the meaning of this. And through these examples, we will also understand the sentence structure, how we have to use modal verb in our sentence, and what will be the position of all different parts in our sentences. First example is, Ich muss 4 Uhr aufstehen. I have to get up at 4 o'clock. Now, in this sentence, it is necessary for me to get up at 4 o'clock because it can be the case that I have to go to work or I have to do something else, but it is necessary for me to get up at 4 o'clock. Therefore, I will use müssen modal verb in this sentence. If we look at the sentence structure, we have used ich, which is the subject of the sentence. And at the second position, we have used müssen verb and we have conjugated it according to the subject ich. So müssen becomes muss. Then comes 4 Uhr at 4 o'clock. And at the last position, we have used the separable verb aufstehen, which means to get up. Er muss heute bis 18 Uhr arbeiten. He has to work till 6 o'clock today. Now, in this sentence, again, it's necessary for him to work till 6 o'clock, or it can be an obligation for him because he has to complete the work. Therefore, he has to work till 6 o'clock, or it can be an order from his boss that he has to work till 6 o'clock. So all these situations can be described through the modal verb müssen. If we look at the sentence structure, er is the subject of the sentence. Then at the second position, we have used müssen, and we have conjugated it according to the subject er. Therefore, for er, we have to use muss. Then comes heute bis 18 Uhr, and arbeiten is the main verb which we have used at the last position of the sentence in infinitive form. Next example is du musst den Kollegen helfen. Du musst den Kollegen helfen. You have to help the colleagues. Now, in this sentence, again, it is necessary that you help your colleagues. Therefore, we will use modal verb müssen, and we conjugate it according to the subject of sentence, which is at the first position. So the subject is du, and for du, the conjugation of müssen is musst. Then comes den Kollegen, which is the object of the sentence, and helfen is the main verb of sentence, which is at the last position in infinitive form. Sie muss am Wochenende arbeiten. She has to work at weekend. Again, in this sentence, it is necessary for her to work at weekend because otherwise she will not be having enough money. Therefore, we have used müssen modal verb, and we have conjugated it according to the subject sie, which means she in this case. Then comes am Wochenende, and arbeiten is the verb which we have used in the infinitive form at the last position. Next example is Sie müssen zuerst das Formular ausfüllen. You have to fill the form first. Now, in this sentence, again, it is necessary for us to fill the form before we do something else. Therefore, we have used müssen modal verb, and here you see that sie is the subject of sentence, which means here you formal way, because here we have used the conjugation müssen. Sentence before, or in the example before, the sie was used in the meaning of she because we have used the muss. Conjugation of müssen modal verb. In the next sentence, we are using sie as the subject of sentence, but here sie means you in a formal way because we are using the conjugation müssen. Next example is ich muss eine Jacke kaufen. Ich muss eine Jacke kaufen. I have to buy a jacket. It is necessary that I buy a jacket because winter is coming, for example. Therefore, I am using müssen modal verb in this sentence, and I'm conjugating it according to the subject ich, and for ich, müssen becomes muss. Then comes eine Jacke, which is the object of the sentence, and we know that object of sentence is in the accusative case, and because Jacke is a feminine noun, therefore we will use indefinite article eine for accusative case for a feminine noun Jacke. And kaufen is the verb which comes at the last position in the sentence in infinitive form. Now let's have a look at yes or no type of questions when we want to use modal verb müssen. The sentence structure in this case will be that modal verb comes at the first position, subject will come at the second position, object, if required, will come at the third position, and the main verb of the sentence will be at the last position of the sentence. So what we have done is simply that we have swapped the position of modal verb and subject. In the normal sentence, subject comes at first position and modal verbs come at second position. But if we want to make a yes or no type of questions, then we have to exchange the position of modal verb with the subject. The rest will remain same. Now let's have a look at the examples. Musst du viele Überstunden machen? Do you have to do overtime? Now in this sentence, we are starting the sentence with modal verb müssen, and we have conjugated it according to the subject do, which is at the second position. So for do, the modal verb müssen becomes musst. Next comes viele Überstunden. Überstunden means overtime, and machen is the main verb of the sentence which comes at the last position of the sentence. Next example is muss die Arbeit interessant sein? Muss die Arbeit interessant sein? Does the work has to be interesting? In this sentence again, muss is coming at the first position. Subject in this sentence is die Arbeit. Arbeit means work and it's a feminine noun. So we have used die Arbeit, and because of this subject, we have used the conjugation of müssen as muss. Interessant means interesting, it's an adjective, and sein is the main verb of the sentence which we have used at the last position in infinitive form. Next example is müssen die Kinder in Deutschland Schuluniform tragen? Müssen die Kinder in Deutschland Schuluniform tragen? Do the kids in Germany have to wear school uniform? Now in this sentence again we are asking about the necessity, whether it is necessary for the kids to wear school uniform in Germany. Therefore we are using the müssen modal verb at the first position because it is a question. The subject in this sentence is die Kinder and it is at the second position. If the subject is plural, then müssen will remain müssen, like in this example. Then comes in Deutschland, Schuluniform, and then tragen is the verb which means to wear or to carry. And in this sentence, we are using this main verb at the last position of the sentence, following the sentence structure that we have explained earlier. Next example is muss Deutsch lernen? Does he have to learn German? Again, in this sentence, muss is at the first position. At second position, we are using subject and we have conjugated muss according to the subject Therefore, müssen becomes muss. Then comes Deutsch, and lernen is the main verb which we have used at the last position of the sentence. Now let's have a look at the situations where we have to ask by using W question words. In this case, the sentence structure will be that we have to use W question word at the first position, modal verb will come at the second position, subject of sentence will come at third position, object, if any, will come at the fourth position, and the last position is again for the main verb in infinitive form. The examples are, wie lange musst du noch zur Schule gehen? Wie lange musst du noch zur Schule gehen? For how long you have to go to school? So we are asking, for how long is it necessary that you go to the school? Therefore, we are using müssen modal verb, and we are following the sentence structure that we have just seen, that we put W question word at the first position. At second position, we use modal verb, we conjugate the modal verb according to the subject which comes at the third position. So in this sentence, do is the subject at third position, and the conjugation of müssen for subject do is musst. And at the last position, we have to use gehen is the main verb which we have used in the infinitive form. Next example is, wann musst du die Prüfung schreiben? Wann musst du die Prüfung schreiben? When you have to write the exam. Again, we are asking about the necessity of writing the exam, and therefore we have used müssen modal verb, and we follow the sentence structure that we have to put W question word at the first position. At second position, we use modal verb müssen, and we conjugate it according to the subject. Subject in this sentence is du. Then comes the object, which is die Prüfung, which means exam, and it's a feminine noun. Schreiben is the main verb of the sentence, which comes at the last position. Next example is, warum muss ich den Mietvertrag unterschreiben? Warum muss ich den Mietvertrag unterschreiben? Why I have to sign the rental contract? In this sentence again, I'm starting the sentence with a W question word warum, which means why. Then comes the modal verb müssen, and the subject is ich in this sentence, therefore müssen becomes muss. Then comes the object, which is Mietvertrag. Now Mietvertrag is a masculine noun, and since it is the object of the sentence, therefore we know that object of sentence is in accusative case. Therefore we have to use the definite article for a masculine noun Mietvertrag from the accusative case, which is den. Den Mietvertrag, and unterschreiben means to sign. It is the main verb of the sentence, and it is used at the last position in infinitive form. So this is how we have to use müssen in different type of sentences. We have seen the conjugation, we have seen the meaning of müssen modal verb, and we have seen a lot of examples for different type of sentences. I hope that the use of müssen modal verb is clear to you now. If you still have any questions, you can put them in the comment, and we will see you in the next video with the next modal verb. Thank you. Bye.